Yep. Welcome back to another lesson in A Course in Miracles. We're up to 139. I will accept atonement for myself. So that's a pretty big word, atonement. And essentially what that means is you're righting your mind, you're unifying your mind, you're getting out of the split ego mind when you accept the atonement for yourself. So I'd have to look up in Webster and see how he defines it. That might be something fun for me to do since I'm a vocab nerd. But according to the Course in Miracles, here is the end of choice. For here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. So the ego has a field day every day, day in and day out, of grooming the body, protecting the body, putting on airs, putting on appearances, trying to get people to like them, trying to get itself to like itself. Like, what's the problem is we don't accept ourselves as we are. And then the ego just literally slaughters us. And here we end that when we accept atonement. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? So we don't even know what we are, essentially. And once we do realize what we are, then here is the end of choice. There is no conflict that does not entail the single simple question, what am I? So it's a pretty deep lesson whenever you do read from the book. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception on a scale so vast, its magnitude can hardly be conceived. To be alive and not know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? So here's the big thing with this lesson. It gets you very self-reflective when it says, who is the doubter? Who is it in your mind that doubts? Who is it in your mind that judges? Who is it that argues with you? You argue with yourself because your mind is split. How do you fix that split mind? Atonement. So it goes a little bit on and on about that. It goes on about being uncertain about your life and getting, of course, to certainty. So the big thing to say today is that I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it is possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. This is the depth of madness. Yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief what is universal here is true? This is A Course in Miracles. Nothing the world believes is true. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. And they will come again until the time atonement is accepted and they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not to be aware of what you are. So Earth School, this is a place where you come. Why? Because you doubted who you were. And here you will come again and again until atonement is accepted and you learn it impossible to doubt yourself, because you will become very aware of what you are. Today for lesson 139, I will accept atonement for myself. Tina Jesus said atonement brings you back into a united state of mind. So who does all that judging and arguing with yourself and trying to change yourself to impress others? That is your literal split, divided mind. You are demonstrating two minds to yourself, Anytime you loathe yourself, anytime you go on a diet and try to change yourself or do anything to impress other people, when you're arguing, when you're judging, when you're worrying, that's demonstrating two minds. If you have anxiety, if you're suffering, if you're in pain, if you're judging, if you're creating fear for yourself, if you're arguing with yourself, that is two minds. That's a split, divided mind. Changing the body, seeing yourself as a body, lowering yourself to think that you're only a body, and then loathing and hating that body. That's what the divided mind does. This split mind never rests. As a matter of fact, you can't sleep. You stay up worrying and your mind is racing all the time. Now, when you choose and accept atonement for yourself, you bring yourself back into a united state of mind. That's where you want to be. You want to have a reintegrated mind, understanding that you are a sacred being. You have accepted atonement. You have accepted all that is. You're full of compassion because you know who you are. There is no doubt. You are a holy son of God. One mind, one love, united. This whole mind is present in the moment. And that's what you receive when you accept atonement for yourself, a united state of mind. And surely that's what we want. That's who we want to be. We want to be someone who's full of compassion. We want to be in the moment. We want to be enjoying the happy dream because we're not just going at ourselves all the time. Just constant racing and worrying and judging ourselves and judging others and just hating all the time. So you give up all that nothingness for everything that you want. You want to accept atonement. So we have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. Let us not forget the goal we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. So fail not your brothers or fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, all of them, that they may know that they are part of you and you of them. So this is definitely a challenge for the ego mind, the one that the ego mind does not want you to unify. It doesn't want you to be whole, and then it certainly doesn't want you to think that you're a part of everyone else and they're a part of you. It wants you to stay split and divided. But atonement brings you back to a united state of mind. This does atonement teach and demonstrates the oneness of God's Son is unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is. So today, accept atonement, not to change reality, but merely to accept the truth about yourself and go your way, rejoicing in the endless love of God. It is but this that we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. So just really 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, we will devote to dedicate our minds to our assignment for today. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 139, Insights. I will accept atonement for myself. This lesson is telling us that this world was made as a place for self-doubters to come in the mad idea that we could change ourselves from what God created us to be. It is the result of rejecting ourselves as we were created. It's no wonder the world is filled with people who doubt their worth, have low self-esteem, and spend their lives trying to make up for what they believe is lacking. All of us do this in some way. Countless workshops have been offered to help people improve their self-esteem and realize their worth. What I appreciate about this lesson is that it goes to the core of the problem. It does not tell us that we were wounded as a child by critical parents, or that if we just affirm often enough that we are worthy of whatever it is that we think we are missing, we will feel okay. This lesson simply reminds us that we remain as God created us and that our denial of reality has not changed reality. Our denial of ourself has not changed what we are. God created us worthy because he created us like himself and of himself. By accepting atonement for ourselves, we accept ourselves as we were created. With that acceptance, whatever occurs in form does not matter, for we remember we remain perfect as God created us. I need simply to change my mind about who I think I am. I am not a split-off image, separate and alone. I am not a body. I am the holy creation of God himself. That is my reality and the reality of everyone, unchangeable, absolutely certain. Every time I feel uncertainty, it is an indication that I have forgotten what I am. It is an indication that it's time to remind myself that I remain as God created me and accept atonement for myself. 30 years ago, a spiritual teacher told me that I was playing dumb. I know now that playing dumb means not accepting myself as I was created by God. Playing dumb means thinking I am weak and vulnerable, isolated and alone. Playing dumb is a denial of the truth. Atonement means letting go of playing dumb and accepting my true self instead of the weak and vulnerable image I have made. In reality, there is only one mind, the mind of God. If I identify with anything else as what I am playing dumb. I am denying myself. It has become a habit to think in limited false ways. Atonement is letting these false ideas, these cobwebs, be cleared so that the light of my true identity can shine through. It has always been there. It never left. I just tried to cover it up. Now is the time to let the cover-up be over. It is not a fun game. Limitation and lack, weakness and uncertainty need not be. It really never was, just in dreams. I will accept atonement for myself. I will let go of playing dumb, for I remain as God created me. Nothing else is true. All minds are one in love. This is certainty. Playing dumb. That is such a useful way of seeing what seems to be happening when it seems that things aren't working out. We started out playing dumb and forgot to laugh. In fact, we forgot that we were playing at all and feel powerless against the circumstances which seem to overwhelm us and are totally out of our control. When in reality, all we must do is remember that we are only playing and there is nothing beyond the control of the child of God. pathwaysoflight.org. So then on that note, we have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when he created us like him. So it's in there. It's in there. We can remember it for everyone. For in creation, all are all minds as one. So when one of us, seemingly separated selves, remembers, because we are all connected, we are helping everyone. So when one person does a mind healing program, you are keeping that light for others, and eventually they will see the light. They have to. That's part of the story. And in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. So we remember all of this in thanks for all creation in the name of its creator and his oneness with all aspects of creation. We repeat our dedication to our cause today, each hour, as we lay aside all thoughts that would distract us from our holy aim. So for several minutes here, let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God, and learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness, as you say, I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. And that's the remembering. Once you remember and accept that you are as God created you, you don't doubt yourself, you don't judge yourself, you know you're just playing in this dream, in this body, this form, and you can really start to be more present and lighthearted in the moment when you're functioning with a whole mind. We got work to do.